So this is the first time I've had a chance to make a high definition video of these, and I don't believe I've ever made one of my entire collection at once. So I'm gonna go through it and tell you a bit about each one of them. I have the rifles in order, left to right. The oldest one on the left, getting newer until we get to this one. Pistols, oldest to newest. So starting on the left, we have a single shot black powder rifle made in Nepal in roughly the 1880s. It is a Gehendra, and yes, I'm doing this with one hand. My camera does not have a tripod. So this is a Nepalese Gehendra. You can see the Nepalese writing there. This was one of the International Military Antiques untouched guns that I bought a while back, and I've cleaned it up. It's actually looking pretty nice for its age right now. The wood's got a little bit of some chips and wear, but for the most part, yeah, that barrel band is missing a pin, so it keeps sliding all the way up here. I plan on remedying that. It's also missing a spring in here. It came broken, so it doesn't actually function. I plan on fixing that also. But it's a single shot black powder rifle, chambered in 577, 450 Martini Henry. Some basically Henry rifling in the barrel with a Peabody style action. Unlike the actual Martini Henry, it has different internals. The Martini Henry is actually a striker fire design, where this actually has an internal hammer that actually pivots. The next one is a Argentine model 1891 Mauser. It was, and I'm not sure I'm pronouncing this correctly, made by Ludwig Loh and Company in Berlin, Germany in 1893 on contract for Argentina. This one, other than some dings in the wood and some metal wear, basically looks new. All the numbers on it match. It does not have the Argentine crest, as is normal for these rifles. Argentina ground them off before they exported them. I believe they supplied some neighboring countries with them and didn't want their crest on them. Although it's odd because their crest shows up right here on the stock. Anyway, this is just a bolt action Mauser. It's actually a cock on close, where most Mausers like this one cock on opening. It's chambered in 765 by 53 Argentine. I believe there's all I want to say Bulgarian cartridge that is virtually identical. But moving on, we have another Argentine Mauser, this time made by DWM in Berlin, Germany in 1911. This one is a Argentine model 1909 cavalry carbine. DWM only made about 40,000 of these between 1909 and 1912. So it's not a very common Mauser. It's also chambered in 7.65 by 53. It's pretty much your standard Model 98 style Mauser, though. Moving on is one most people are familiar with, a Mosin Nagant Model 9130. This one's a hex receiver. It was made in 1932 at the Izhevsk Arsenal. Chambered in 7.62 by 54R. Nothing terribly special about it. These things are about a dime a dozen. You buy crates of them for a couple $100. So, moving on, we have a Steyr M95 carbine. This one, I believe, I don't know much about it, so I don't really have a date. From what I can tell, this was probably made somewhere around 1917, but I can't really be sure. So this would actually, if I was going in order from oldest, it would actually move over one. But it's chambered in 8x56R. Pretty stout little cartridge, especially in such a small gun. This is my shortest rifle by, well, my shortest rifle other than the AR by far. It's a straight pull bolt, so you can just push it forward, and it's a little stiff, but you just pull it straight back. So, forward, back. It's pretty neat. The next one is also a straight pull bolt action. Can't demonstrate the bolt with the magazine in, not with one hand. But it's a Swiss K31, chambered in 7.5 by 55 Swiss. It's a straight pull design. So there's no bolt to rotate. It actually rotates itself on this kind of camming action here. When you push this forward, there's this pin here that rides along in this channel, which forces the bolt body and head to rotate. This one was made in 1955, so it's not the oldest, even though the design predates World War II. This one was made well after, never saw anything, never saw World War II. Not that the Swiss really saw any action anyway, since they remained neutral throughout the entire war. The next one's nothing special really. It's a semi-auto 22. It's clear. It doesn't have a bolt hold open though, so I can't leave that open. It's a J.C. Higgins Model 29. It's just a 22 semi-auto, cracking stock, standard tubular magazine. This actually made somewhere between 1956 1960. And it's probably sold by Sears at some point. This one right here was my first rifle. It was a birthday gift. It is a Marlin Model 981T. It's just a bolt action 22. Nothing special. Holds, I believe, 17 rounds in the tube of 22 LR. It's got a scope. It's pretty accurate. Taking plenty of groundhogs. This one's my newest rifle. It's a Franken AR. Pieced together. I bought a stripped lower, a stripped upper. Basically added every part on there myself. Surplus ammo and arms lower. Spikes tactical upper. It's got a Daniel Defense barrel, Daniel Defense rail, Magpul grip, Magpul stock, PWS buffer tube, PWS flash hider. I believe the lower parts kit is spikes. It's got a pretty cool little logo right there on the side. It's Magpul sights on there. I don't have an optic for it yet. It's pretty sweet little gun though. Moving on to the pistols, we got my first pistol back here. And hold on, let me set this down real quick. Just want to demonstrate that this is clear. No magazine, nothing in the chamber. This is my first pistol. And yeah, I'm right-handed. That was really awkward. My first pistol, Browning Buckmark. It's just a 22, 10 shots, 5.5-inch barrel, semi-auto. It's a pretty sweet little shooter. I think this was made in the 70s. The grips aren't the greatest, but you know, for what it is, doesn't really need to be anything special. Just shoot and shoot straight. And then we got my second pistol, and let me set this down again. Demonstrate this one's clear, no magazine, nothing in the chamber. It is a 1911, a Remington R1. It has aftermarket grips on it, Cocobolo. If you Google grips by Esmeralda, you'll come up with the website I ordered them from. They're really nice looking grips. These are actually the slim ones. Yeah, there are fingerprints all over this. I need to wipe it down. That was my second handgun right there. Then I've got my Bodyguard 380. Let me check this one. This one's clear. Nothing in the chamber. Nothing in the magazine. It's a Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 380, chambered in 380 auto. It's got a built-in laser. You can see right there. Hit it once for solid, twice for a pulsing laser, and third time turns it off. pretty neat. It's real small, fits in my pocket. Actually fits in the palm of my hand, so it's really nice. Easy to carry. I've got a pocket holster. I tuck it in there, stick it in my pocket, and go. Last one. This is my newest pistol. Let me clear this one. This magazine. Nothing in the chamber. It is a Glock 19 Generation 4. Nothing really special about this. It's your standard Glock. It's pretty sweet though. I haven't really shot this enough to start carrying it yet, but one of these days I'm going to. But that's about it. That's pretty much my entire collection. There's one rifle right now that's missing, but it is pretty much identical to this one. It's a Nepalese Francot rifle. It's about the same thing, except it has a striker fired action like the Martini Henry, rather than the hammer fired action like the Peabody rifle. But yeah, that's about it. Have a good one.